Alfredo, what was the purpose of your trip?
The purpose of my trip to India was to do a knowledge transfer. The knowledge transfer was for the DCT application. DCT means data collection tool, and that's a system we made for Hewitt. And the technology was to enable new people at Hewitt to maintain the application given the information that we give to them in the future.
Why is Hewitt as a client important to dbaccess?
Hewitt is a client outside of Venezuela, and dbaccess is always looking for clients outside of Venezuela and references, good references, to get more clients and more business outside of this country. Also, Hewitt is a client that we're handling with our partner named Acuity, and the relationship with Acuity is one that we want to nurture. We want more partnerships with Acuity in the future.
Did you have a chance to measure the technological development in India?
I would say that I did get a chance, but I do not have several points of comparison. The only one I have is the Hewitt offices in India. And what I can tell about them is that they are very professional people, and that the offices are actually newer than the ones the same company has in the US. But at the same time, I can also say that in the back of the building, all that was there was dirt road and actually farm animals, so it's a contrast. One thing I liked about India is that I saw many people interested in education. For instance, if you see a general purpose newspaper in India, unlike in Venezuela, you will see as many advertisements for stores as you see advertisements for technological institutes. So it looks like many people are getting into those institutes and getting an education, and that's obviously a good thing for that country.
How does Venezuela compare to India in terms of technological development?
Well, as I said, the people seem very professional, but I wasn't incredibly impressed. So I think the human resources here in Venezuela can measure up with the ones they have.
Do you think that dbaccess is able to compete in international markets such as India?
Yes, we can compete with them. I would say that they have several problems now, but some are temporary and some are permanent. The temporary problems, I would mention that they do not have enough roads. They have even electricity problems. The electricity was missing for parts of the day in the hotel and in the office buildings, and but the thing is that those problems, I think they will fix them in the near future, in the next few years, and then we will be in a more level position with them. But the permanent problems, there's an obvious one, which is the time zone difference, which we don't have, and I actually lived that time zone problem when I was there. It's almost impossible to find an overlap in working hours to get a meeting over the telephone or video with the people in the US. It's almost impossible. One of the two offices has to work overtime outside working regular working hours in order to get to a telephone call or a conference on video. And communication just by email, I did see that communication by email is always will be insufficient. It's always necessary to speak over the phone or to see a face on the other end.
What did this experience mean to you in professional terms?
Professionally, it's interesting to see how people work in India and to compare and contrast that with how people work in the US or Venezuela. and every person has a criteria. So of course I took things that I consider good and things that I consider bad, and will try to copy the good things and not copy the bad things. Besides that, India is here to stay, so it's probable that we will get a chance to work with them in the future in teams with the US and Venezuela, and so it's always interesting to know how to integrate better with them.
Thank you very much, Alfredo.
Thank you.